Ohio Parish, this shit high, boy.
Shawty catch a vibe, yeah, I had to put her on. Bought a two-seater, yeah, we heading for the sun. Shawty got my high, I ain't tripping for the fun.
What's up, guys? How we doing? Welcome to Chuck and Friends podcast. You're here with your host, Chuck. Unfortunately, I don't have my friends with me today. It's just solo podcast today, so it's probably going to be a little shorter because I'm sure you guys don't want to hear a 50-minute podcast. It's just my voice, but we're going to keep it rolling today. And I'm confident that we're going to be keeping it high energy, high vibes all the time. And actually, speaking of confidence, that's exactly what this discussion and topic is today, is what is confidence to you? Or what does it mean to you? And so recently I posted on my Instagram that what type of topics or what do you guys want to see from me in this podcast? And recently I saw an interesting one about confidence. Specifically, it said, how do you have so much confidence approaching and talking to girls? Which I really kind of don't, but I didn't really want to talk about that for real. I really wanted to just talk about confidence just in general. So that's what we're going to change it to. We're going to change it to how do I have so much confidence? And I want to say, I don't really have too much crazy confidence. It's, so I broke it up into three easy steps that how I seem so much high energy, high vibes, how I can pretty much talk to anybody in anywhere, and people are so concerned how you just able to just walk up to a random person and just speak for days. And so I'm gonna pretty much explain it right now. So there's three things I'm gonna explain all of them in depth. And the first one is that you have to love yourself pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't love yourself, who's going to love you? Who's going to love you more? And that's why I feel like if you're not your biggest supporter, then you can't support another person. 2, high energy and high vibes. I feel like if you just always put it out there, in your own little environment, you're just always putting up high energy around you. People will always be approachable. You'll be approachable to anybody. And lastly, is probably my most biggest rule, or what I pretty much take on from things, is that to don't give a fuck. Honestly, to just really if you just don't show too much from the little things and just do your own thing. Just don't give a fuck. Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing about and it sounds crazy, but put that as a confidence, but I'm gonna explain it a little later. So for the first thing, for when I put build yourself up, that's probably the biggest steps that are building block that you have to put up to for confidence. If you build yourself up, work out, improve yourself, improve your daily habits, get to know yourself better, honestly. Because if you really don't know yourself, how are you supposed to put yourself out there to the world if you don't even know your own self? You're going to allow other people to get to know you, tell your story? Because that don't really make sense. So that's why I personally think if you're not your biggest supporter, who will be? So my biggest thing is put yourself out there, get to know yourself. So say you wanted to write a book about yourself. What was going to be on the first page? What's your introduction? If you can't even tell me your first page, do you really know yourself? So that's really the main goal. If you want to really build confidence, get to know yourself. Because once you know yourself, you can put yourself out there to the world. You can maybe talk to anybody. You talk about your habits, your shit, love life, anything, honestly, anything possible. Because say you talk to a employer and they ask you, oh, what do you do besides work? Where's your strengths? If you don't know those answers, they're not going to hire you. Because if you don't even know yourself, they got to do their job, other people's job, and also learn about you as well. And then and you're going to think they're going to hire you? Nah, that doesn't even make sense right there. That doesn't even make sense. So that's why I'm saying build yourself up. and it'll definitely help you in the longer span of things, because the biggest motivation in life is to improve yourself, to get better, and that's what everybody wants to do. So that's really the step one. That's really step one for me. Now, step two, I feel like this is more of a personal thing for myself. It's just that what I'm always about. And this is probably like why people like come up to me and say, "Oh, how are you so confident? How are you able to talk to anybody? How are you able to just talk to a random stranger like at a Whole Foods or a bar, or club, or fucking Barnes and Nobles, anything like that?" And it's because it seems like I'm approachable. I'm approachable to like, I'm gonna say all, but most people. To most people, I seem approachable. I don't know what it is. It seems mostly because I'm always smiling. I'm always having a good ass time. I'm dancing. I'm just I'm like tall as hell, so I can't really miss me as much. But if you see me, I'm never looking like I'm having a bad day. I'm always smiling. I'm laughing. I'm joking with everybody. I just seem like from the outer sense, I just look like a goofy motherfucker that just be laughing, giggling, and everybody. You can't really hate a laughing, giggling motherfucker. Like, you can't really hate that. So that's why when you see me, I'm always high energy. I'm high vibe. I have like high vibrations. People see me, be like, "Oh yeah, he looks like a fun person to get to know." Like, I wonder what his story is like. Why is he so happy right now? It's not to be really happy about. Why is he so happy? So they come up to me, talk to me. I give them a little smile. You know what I'm saying? And then you make them feel comfortable. You make them feel comfortable. And once you make somebody feel comfortable, they'll want to talk your head off. They'll talk to you like, "Oh, they'll talk to me like I've known them from years." Like, people just feel real comfortable telling me a bunch of stuff. But that's because I make them feel comfortable with my energy, my vibe, my everything that I put out, that my body language is saying. I could be having like the worst day. Like, you can see me, maybe one day I won't be smiling, but I'll be dancing. I'll be like, "Oh, I'll be just looking like I can be some type of approachable." Like, because if you know me, I'm 6'6", I'm big and black. Like, I don't look like the approachable type of person. Like, I look intimidating. You would think I look intimidating, but most people tell me I don't look intimidating. The first time you met me, you was like, "Wow, I can come up and talk to you," like, and you feel like I've been friends with you for years. And I've heard that all the time. But that's because, again, I have high energy. I have high vibes. Like, I know I'm a good time. So that's why, like I said, I know who I am. I know that I'm a good person. I'm just a person that you will want to come talk to. And that's why I just always put out high energy, high vibes all the time. And you'll make somebody want to be able to come talk to you. And that will build the confidence up. It's like, oh, okay, they want to, I can talk to anybody at this point. They're all humans. We all bleed the same, hopefully. But but yeah, if people come up to approach you because they think you're a good time, that's a confidence booster. That's telling you like, "Oh, okay, I'm a good time. I'm a good person to hang out with. So I can get to know them." And that makes it easier for you and the person. Because if you really think about it, everybody's nervous to come talk to somebody. Everybody. You're not just the only person that's alone. But if you break that little attention, that interaction, you just open the waterworks for maybe the best conversation, or maybe like new friends, anything like that. And lastly, I want to bring out the point to my most important point, honestly. This is probably like my number one rule of like everything, because this is just like my personality. And I'm just a blunt person. Excuse me. Is not giving a fuck. And that's really like, you could put that on a t-shirt, a poster, something. That is the biggest thing that I put out for like, and it sounds crazy when they say that for like confidence wise, but that's really the biggest thing I can really put out to somebody. Like, do not give a fuck what nobody says, what anybody thinks about you. If you say something and they're not fucking with it, don't compromise. Say with your chest. You don't give a fuck. And that's really the biggest thing I could put out to anybody. Like, if you don't take anything from this podcast right now, I would say you just take this down. And it's more of a mental thing for somebody. Don't give a fuck. You can just walk up to them. Walk up to them. Because most likely, if they don't want to talk to you, they'll shoo you off. They'll make it apparent that they don't want to talk. Okay. Walk away. Go to the next person. Somebody will want to talk to you. Don't be. Are not even like just want to talk to you. If you just don't give a fuck about like the littlest things in life, I promise you, the world will become it's like an oyster. It'll open up and you show out the true beauty. If you just don't give a fuck about like, oh, I had a real bad day at work and I don't know how to, bro, go to sleep, knock it off, go to the next day. Because the next day, something good might happen to you. Shit, you might find $5 bill to sleeping on the concrete somewhere. Just always think that the next day is a restart. So you don't really have to truly give a fuck about, oh, what happened back 2 days ago. Oh, shorty ghosted me. Dang, like, what did I do? No, fuck that. So like, oh, she ghosted me? On to the next one. Oh, my friend acting a little shady. All right, go improve yourself. Fuck what your friend thinking. Go improve yourself. Go up. Step one. Go get yourself better. Don't think about that shit. Just don't give a fuck. Because if it's not benefiting you, why should you care? And that's really the biggest thing I can really just tell anybody. Don't give a fuck. And like, yeah, that's pretty much like my personal like 3 reasons of why I'm so confident in what I do and what I bring to the table. Because I'm not the handsomest. I'm not the most like craziest, richest dude out there. But I'm confident in myself. And that's why people come up to talk to me. They see the energy that I put out. And it's like, okay, there's something there. And that's what you really want people to think about you. Because like, yeah, the money, power, and all that like upper echelon type things is cool. But what are the most people like the most famous and like coolest people out there all have in common? They're all confident. They all know themselves. They all They all want to do things to better themselves, and which they do. That's why people, if you go to like the college, the biggest thing you can take out of college is your communication skills and networking. Because if you can talk to people, that's networking, communication. You can make the luckiest break if you know somebody or know somebody. So you can know Billy Jean over here, and he has an opportunity that could probably put you up there with the stock marketers or the CEOs of whatever company. That's because you had the confidence to come talk to and make good acquaintances with people. So if you just talk to people, just have that confidence, not give a fuck, you can make a world a lot. You can pretty much make the world your oyster. Pretty much. That's the world is based on who you know, how you know, and how can you get to that point where you can make a benefit out of that person that you know. And that's the beauty of that's the beauty of having confidence. Because if you just go get it, you can better yourself every single day. I promise that. And so I'm gonna leave you a little recap about this little short podcast today. So, one, build yourself up, get to know yourself, improve yourself every single day. Because once you know yourself, knowing who's going to stop you, nobody can stop you after that. Two, always keep a high energy, high vibes. Feel approaching, be approachable. Smile. Go around with a chest up. You know what I'm saying? And just be high energy all the time. Well, as much as you can, because I know some people have very, very inconvenience problems in their life. But even then, take it to the chin and get right back up. Keep that high energy every time. And the third, again, most important thing, don't give a fuck. Whatever, if you wanted to do that thing that you always wanted to do, you want to go talk to that girl you always want to talk to, get that job you want to talk to, or even if you just wanted to make some friends, don't give a fuck. Do it. If it goes to the ladder, take it. Go. We're on to the next one. Don't give a fuck. Forget it. Jog it off or something. Work it out. Something. Do something. Forget about it. Don't care. And get on with your day. And that's pretty much all I gotta say to you guys. So please like, subscribe, Chuck and Friends Podcast on IG. We are now on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and hopefully more in the future. If you'd like to follow us on our Instagram, Chuck and Friends Podcast, that would be greatly appreciated. And also follow my personal account at KingChuck _201. Thank you guys. Peace out.